12 Cilindri, that's 12 cylinders in Italian. That's also the name of this latest Ferrari. Now you might think that's quite an unimaginative name, but actually it's a celebration of 12 cylinders in its purest form. This is the last of a breed. This V12 has no turbos, no hybrids. It's pure natural aspiration. And that's what Ferrari wants to celebrate in this world of electrons, volts, lithium ion. Ferrari also say this is their greatest or best GT car of all time. And just look at the styling. That also harks back to a bygone era of great design of the 1970s. In fact, it's inspired by the 365 GT before, the original Ferrari Daytona, which is my favorite car. So before we fire those 12 cylinders, let's have a closer look at the design. The 12 Cilindri styling is clearly a nod to the legendary 365 GT4 Daytona. It's got all the design cues, like that unmistakable dark front strip which kind of hides the lights. The front fenders look voluptuous and curve around massive 21-inch wheels. And like with the first Daytona, the cabin looks like it's perched on the rear wheels. But there are lots of modern touches too, like the delta wing roof motif and active aero bits. Two winglets pop up between 60 and 300 kph to provide up to 50 kilos of downforce. Now, if you're wondering why Ferrari didn't have one giant wing at the back, it's because that would have compromised the boot, which by the way is a pretty spacious 270 litres. Don't forget, this is after all a grand touring sports car. Now let's quickly take a look at the inside. So I'm in the driver's seat, the place to be in the 12 Cilindri, and it's quite familiar. Steering wheel, typical Ferrari, all the controls on the steering wheel. You've got the Manotino settings over here, you've got the turn indicators, wipers, everything on the steering wheel. The point is you don't want to take your hands off the wheel for anything. What's quite unique is the interior design. It's a dual cockpit design, which is there are two distinct zones, one for the driver, one for the passenger. And of course, passenger gets his own dedicated screen, an 8.8-inch screen. He can see the revs, he can see the G-force, keep himself entertained while the driver's having fun. And it's a very, very functional kind of design. What's new is a central 10.2-inch screen which now houses the aircon and seat function. It sits low down so it doesn't distract you, but you have to take your eyes off the road to operate it. And you've got this gate, which again harks back to Ferrari tradition. Of course, it's not a manual, but you've got your automatic manual and launch control functions, and of course a reverse gear, which again, design is very, very much part of the tradition that Ferrari is trying to bring back with this car. Let's now hit the road. The heart and soul of a Ferrari is the engine, and boy, what an engine this is. You know why they've named it after an engine. This 12-cylinder, oh my God, just the way it revs. Oh. And it's got that extra revs. It revs to 9,500 RPM. So it's like extending that crescendo, and you feel the acceleration is just endless. But it's not a very loud engine, and there's more induction sound than exhaust bellow. It's only at max revs that you hear the 12-cylinder symphony in all its glory. To rev so high, the 6.5-litre V12 has been lightened. It gets skinnier connecting rods, lighter pistons and camshafts. It produces 830 horsepower and can catapult the 12 Cilindri from 0 to 100 in 2.9 seconds. There's an all-new 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox with shorter ratios, which makes it easier to redline the engine. Shifts are much faster too. And boy, this car is more than fast. It's a force of nature, turning any stretch of road into a giant blur. Now on these narrow roads, this car does feel big, especially that long bonnet in front of you. But it is so easy to drive. The handling is just something else. The steering is very quick off center, maybe too quick, and takes a bit of getting used to. This is an incredibly agile car that responds to every millimeter of driver input. And on twisty roads, you can feel the rear wheel steering at play. The brakes are phenomenally effective. They have a nice short travel and a firm bite. What's amazing is the ride quality. Ferrari's semi-active suspension and Magna ride is just magical. The 12 Cilindri has a wonderful underlying suppleness. That extra bit of compliance few other supercars have. And in the Indian context, that's a big plus. The Dodici Cilindri is unquestionably fast and refined. It's a bold mix of cutting-edge tech and heritage design, which some may find a bit too avant-garde. But this is undeniably Ferrari's best GT car. A car that can blow you away both on road and track. It's coming to India in April next year with a price of 7 to 8 crores. You might want to start saving now.